Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, Wednesday Live. I know it has been a few weeks since I've been live, and I'm going to fill you in on all of those things, what's been going on here in just a few. But first things first, welcome to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I'm Victoria, and here I feature all things scrapbooking and crafting and some other things that are coming down the pipe, card making and all that fun stuff. If you enjoy paper crafting, make sure you hit the subscribe button. When you do, click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time new content is posted to this channel. So I'm going to hang out for just a few to see who all pops on and joins us today. I am really excited to be back on. It has been quite a long time. Oh, let me do that. It has been quite a long time since I have been on live. And yeah, it's, life and everything else has been going on. So yeah, hello. Make sure you drop a hello in the chat box. So glad to see you guys. Oh my goodness. I feel like I need to find my YouTube live sea legs because it's been a very long time. It's been at least a month or so um since I've been on live. So, Barb, thank you so much. I am feeling and doing a lot better. I did share on Instagram that um myself and my spouse had COVID, and the first few days were pretty tough, but we did recover and we're doing much, much better. So I'll get into that in a second. Hello, everyone who's joining us today. Hello. Hey, Amy, so happy you're back live. Thank you so much. Thank you. So before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping things. I'm trying something new during our lives. YouTube offers what's called Super Chat. And Super Chat allows you, one, an opportunity to support your favorite content creators, but you can, however much you want, you can purchase a Super Chat so that your comment then bumps up to the top of the chat feed. You can purchase stickers, and there's some type of other super something that you can purchase as well. And you can find the button down at the bottom of the chat box on the right hand side of your screen. So if you want to support Victoria Marie Designs in that way, you're welcome to do that. So that is available to you if you would like. It's totally optional, but definitely appreciate your support. Whenever you support Victoria Marie Designs, it allows me to do things like go live, produce content, host crops, all kinds of fun stuff. So thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate you so much. Yes, I am super happy to be back on here. Hey, Kara just says, I've missed you. I missed you too. I miss all of you guys as well. This has been, I would say, the craziest couple of months. Um, just to kind of give you guys some context to what's been going on. Um, I had some dental issues, and I have a crown that's on the side of my mouth. And I was going to see one dentist. We'll call that person Dentist A. And I had been seeing Dentist A for about a year. And the tooth that I have the crown on hurts like all the time. It just was this excruciating pain. It made it difficult for me to talk, to eat, to sleep, all those things. I had an unfortunate experience with that dentist, in that I went to have the crown, not remade, but I needed a new crown. Went to have the crown fitted. It was not fit properly, and it continued to exacerbate the issue I was having. So I started to wonder, I probably need a root canal. Anyway, after consulting with that dentist and getting really bad treatment, making me feel like I was a hypochondriac that was complaining for nothing, and just really rude treatment, I decided to find a new dentist, which I did. And that dentist discovered that my crown was not fitted well, and that I do need, in fact, a root canal. And apparently the root on this particular tooth is very small. So I have been referred to an endodontist that I will be seeing on Monday. So after several months of being in pain, I'm finally going to be able to get a root canal, and then I'll have my permanent crown put in after that, 3 weeks after that. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't go live, because talking was excruciating. Moving my mouth. I have never, let me know in the chat if you have ever experienced any type of crazy dental pain. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It's just so painful. And even today, I can talk and I'm fine because I got my crown refitted, my temporary refitted, but I can still feel like that nerve root pain, and it's just so debilitating. So that was reason number one I didn't go live, because it was just too painful to talk. And then, just a general busy crazy things behind the scenes, contract work, stuff that I'm working on, which I'm really excited. I finished a class for Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine. So if you're not familiar with that, there is a class called Scrapbook 101, Begin with the Basics. That's the class that I designed, and it's launching on the 15th of this month, this Friday. So if you know someone who's a newbie to scrapbooking, or if you just want to refresh your skills, it's a simple, basic, evergreen course that's going to be on their platform. Make sure you check that out. So that is coming on the 15th. I'm doing some employee engagement things with T-Mobile, the cell phone company. So I've been designing some workshops for them, which is really cool. So next week I'll be doing a Cricut 101 workshop with their staff. They do these employee engagement programs every month, which I think is really cool. That's a great way to keep up morale. So I've been working on that. So just a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff that's been going on. And then this past week, of course, I had COVID. So it's just like, keep it coming, universe. But I'm fine. I'm fine. I would rather have COVID, being someone who has the vaccine and has been boosted, versus 2 years ago when we didn't have the vaccine. I unfortunately lost 2 colleagues to COVID. So I feel very, 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 very fortunate that my symptoms were mild. They were bad, but they were mild. And I'm doing fine. So all that to say, I am back doing lives. I missed you guys so much. I miss going live and connecting with you guys and sharing and all kinds of stuff. So that's what's been going on around here. So yes, Alana, yes. So glad that you didn't take the treatment. I did not. I did move on from that dentist. There was no way I was going to have her touch my mouth anymore, because what she should have done, she didn't do. So I'm just, letting that go. Hey Deb, what's going on? Thank you, Sue. She says, congrats on your class. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. And I'll be developing another one for Scrapbooking Cards Today here pretty soon. So you guys stay tuned for that. Let's see, tooth pain 94, could hardly wait for a root canal. Oh my God. It's just insane. It's insane. It's the worst pain ever. Hey Cecilia, what's going on? Thanks, Barb, so much. So that's what's been going on. So let's dig into crafty stuff, right? Let's dig into that. So glad to be back. I think that the summertime for me is usually very, what do you call it? It's kind of slow, maybe, like not slow. It's just not, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on here. And, I've been thinking about the content here on this channel and things that I've been wanting to do. And of course, I'll always do scrapbooking stuff. But I did mention in one of my videos that I'm adding card making to the channel. So I've kind of dibbled and dabbled with that in the past, kind of adding a video here and there very sporadically. But I think it's something that I'm wanting to do more frequently, which is awesome. So I'll be sharing. Plus, God knows that I have enough stamping and card making supplies, and I do make cards. It's just I don't share them as often, so I will be doing that a whole lot more. Hey Bobby, thank you so much. Hey Diane. So anyway, so new content's coming, and in addition to card making, I have found some motivation, inspiration. I'm not sure. I've missed doing mini albums. So I'll be sharing some mini album projects with you guys. In fact, that's what we're going to be doing today, is a mini album project. I'm going to show you how I prep. I'm going to do it in stages. I'm going to show you kind of like my whole prep process, because I always get questions about that whenever I'm working on a project. How do I prep for a project? So we're going to do that today. And then I will be taking you along on the ride for this particular project. And I have other projects that I want to get done. I'm going to tell you why I specifically picked today's project to start out with. So I'll tell you about that here in a second. Alrighty, a couple of things news-wise from Victoria Marie Designs. If you haven't heard already, the July online virtual crop, Scrap Your Stash online virtual crop is next weekend. It was rescheduled. Unfortunately, just to add more to what's been going on in my life, my spouse and I unfortunately lost a really good friend this past week. His name was Keith. He's 39 years old, and he unfortunately died of a heart attack. And apparently there's heart issues that run in his family. So we're still kind of processing. It's still kind of hard to believe that he's no longer here with us, but we'll be traveling out of town to attend his memorial service this weekend. I had the crop originally scheduled. I already announced that it was rescheduled to next weekend, the 22nd through the 24th. So thank you to everybody who was anticipating it being this weekend for understanding why I had to move it. Keith is actually my spouse's high school friend. They were very, very close, and shared their love of politics and government, and totally polar opposites in terms of their political standings. But they came together for their love of discussing government and politics and that type of thing. So he was a really amazing guy. Didn't have a family or children of his own, but he loved his niece and nephew. He loved all of us friends. He loved our kids so much. He was an attorney, a family law attorney, and the guy just lived his life very fully. He just recently bought a boat. He's traveled. He's done all kinds of fun stuff, and unfortunately, his life came to an end very soon. And it is, I think, for a lot of friends and family, is still trying to digest all of that. So I think, if anything, a reminder to live our lives as fully as we possibly can. So, um, all that withstanding, the crop has been rescheduled to next weekend. So if you're interested, if you don't want to leave your house and you want to stay in your pajamas and you don't want to pack up your scrappy stuff, my online crops are for you. This year, we're focused on using our stash. And so this whole year, each crop is based on a specific theme around using your stash. This month, we're focusing on using your stamps. So if you're like me and you got a bunch of stamps hanging out, grab your stamps, come join us next weekend, July 22nd through the 24th, for the Rock Your Stash online virtual crop called Use Your Stamps. I posted a link down in the description. It'll take you to my event page. It'll give you all the information, plus a couple of downloads, and you can purchase your spot there. Everything is online, and it's hosted in a private Facebook group. So all you have to do is just sign up, and then you'll get admitted into the Facebook group, and then you'll hang out until we start next weekend. The crop includes challenges that are all focused on using your stamps, and they're fun challenges, and people who've been going to these crops for any regular amount of time know that you get a lot of stuff done. We have live Zoom scrap and chats throughout the weekend. One that includes a workshop. In this workshop, I'm talking about making stamped backgrounds, I believe, high impact stamp backgrounds or something like that. So it's a little 45-minute little technique, something to kind of inspire you. We have prizes and giveaways and lots of opportunities to engage with other scrapbookers. So if you don't want to leave the comfort of your home, or maybe you want to invite some friends over and hang out in the comfort of your home, come hang out at the Victoria Marie online virtual crop, Rock Your Stash. Use Your Stamps as this month's theme. I posted a link down below to all the information. And lastly, for those of you who enjoy the crops and you want to get in on my bundle for 2023, can you believe it? I'm talking about 2023 already because we're halfway through the year. If you want to get in on the bundle, I offered the bundle in 2022, which means you get all 10 of my crops, because I offer 10 per year, all 10 of my online crops for one price. And the 2023 rate is $99.90. That means you save $3 per crop if you get the bundle. So if you want to learn more about that for 2023, we still got crops going on this year. But if you want to jump in early on that, I'm offering 2 opportunities to grab the bundle. I'm offering an opportunity this summer, and then it'll close. And then I'll offer another opportunity in the fall before the year ends for you to grab the bundle. If you want to learn more about that, all the details, there's a link posted down in the description below. Okay? So grab the bundle. It's the best deal. You get all 10 of the crops. And the cool thing about it is you have 3 weeks to finish the challenges. All of the Zoom scrap and chats are recorded. So say you can't make it a weekend, that's okay. All the stuff is there. So you just join the Facebook group, the crop Facebook group, and you come to it whenever you feel like it during that 3-week time. So no stress, no fuss. All the rules are loosey-goosey. Those of you who attended the crop, you know about that. Super flexible. You get to play around with a whole bunch of challenges, and you get to meet cool people. So check it out. Links are posted in the description. All right, let's talk about my project. Thank you guys for allowing me to give you all those updates. See, this is what happens when you haven't been on live for like ever. Oh, love your curtains, Victoria. Thank you. I got those from Pier 1. Pier 1's no longer open, but I got that from Pier 1. Amy says, love your crop community. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of those who extended condolences. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So join is so worth it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Alrighty. So here we go. Today's topic is about prepping my Disney album, one of about 3 Disney projects that I'm kind of working on. So back in, back in April, I guess it's been April. Am I going to move up here? I think so. Back in April, I attended the Creativation trade show. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Creativation is the trade show for paper crafting and other similar aligned industries. And this year they teamed up with the Arts World trade show, if you're familiar with that, and that's usually geared towards fine artists. And so they paired up there, and I was invited by Scrapbooking Cards today to do some Facebook coverage along with two of my buddies, Letitia Yost and Megan Andrews, who you probably know through Scrapbooking Cards today. But the trade show was hosted in Orlando. And for those of you who are familiar with Orlando, guess what's in Orlando, Florida? Disney World. So I was in Disney World in February for a family trip. When I learned about the opportunity to go in April, I'm like, well, I'm going to be there for 3 days, at least a couple of those days, or at least one of those days, I need to plan a solo Disney day. And let me tell you, there is nothing like going to Disney World by yourself. Number one, I love to travel on my own. I've always loved to travel. Number two, sometimes when you travel with other people, you can't really fully experience stuff because you're having to be mindful of what everybody wants to do, right? So I planned it to where on the day that I flew in, my arrival day, I would spend a day at Disney's Epcot. Disney has, in Florida, they have 4 theme parks, one of which is called Epcot. So I spent a solo day in Epcot, and let me tell you, it was fabulous. It was so awesome. Epcot features what's called the World Showcase, and they have these pavilions that are themed based on some of their partner countries. So you have the UK, Morocco, Germany, that type of thing. And so there's, God, how many pavilions? Maybe there's 7, 9 pavilions. I can't remember. But that's one half of the park. And then the other half of the park are rides. And of course, there's restaurants and gift shops and all kinds of fun things interspersed in that. This was my 3rd time, maybe 3rd or 4th time going to Epcot. And my plan was to get in. I got an early flight. I got in around 11:30, grabbed my rental car, headed to Epcot. There was no traffic. The weather was perfect. Got to Epcot, adorned my ears, my Tiana ears, as you can see here in this picture. So look at that. Oh, look at that magnificent ball there. Oh, I love it. Anyway, adorned my ears. I already had my t-shirt on when I traveled, and I had my Loungefly Disney Nizzy little purse backpack, and I went to Epcot, and I had a blast. I took my time. I walked through the pavilions. During this time, the Flower and Garden Show was happening, or festival was happening, which is the 2nd time I've attended this, and it was wonderful. I took pictures of topiaries. They had food booths that were themed for the Flower and Garden Festival. So I ate a lot. I had a couple of drinks, and I just took my time and enjoyed Epcot. Another reason why I was excited about my Epcot day. I'm actually show you guys some pictures. I was excited about my Epcot day is that I really, really wanted to just focus on things that I wasn't able to focus on whenever I'm with my family at Disney World. And I took all of the PhotoPass photos that I wanted to take. And that is a service that's offered by Disney World that you can purchase like a photo package or whatever. And they have PhotoPass photographers stationed throughout the park, and then you can go take pictures. And they also give you some extra photos of rides and things of that nature. So I went around and I took a whole bunch of PhotoPass photos without having to worry about if my family was being impatient about me taking photos or not. I just enjoyed taking photos. Interestingly enough, all my photos in total, the ones that I took with my iPhone and the ones from my PhotoPass, I think in all ended up being less than 200 photos, which is great because then I could go through and really kind of drill down the photos that I wanted to keep for this specific project. So it took a lot of photos of the different flower displays. It's absolutely beautiful at Epcot. It's just so much fun. And took pictures of my food because that's what I like to do. Took a lot of selfies, of course, with my Tiana ears. And I just had a blast. I tried a vanilla ice cream with popcorn, like a popcorn ice cream. It was delicious. At one of the food booths, I rode maybe 1 or 2 rides. I had no reservations to ride rides, and it was busy, so I couldn't get onto some of the key rides at Epcot, but it didn't matter because all I wanted to do was walk around and enjoy the World Showcase and everything in between. So that's that's what I did. And I had so much fun doing that. And so the first step when I came back from my Epcot day, I'm trying to see if I can find the folder um, that has my PhotoPass photos in it. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to kind. Anyway, the first thing that I did whenever oh, baby, I don't have it up just yet. When I got back home is I organized my photos immediately. So that, and I knew that when I was touring the park, I started thinking about the stories that I wanted to tell. And that's kind of where I start with the project, with prepping a project. I knew that this was going to be a unique experience apart from touring these parks with my family. I knew that going to Disney World on a solo trip was going to be a new experience. And so I wanted to be able to document that in a fun way. So I immediately decided that I'm going to do a mini album to document this experience. And I'm going to tell you about the album here in just a second. But while I was there, I was very mindful of the types of pictures that I took, the flower and garden, lots of selfies, different experiences that maybe I didn't capture in my other trips to Disney World. I also just kind of started making notes in my iPhone of details that I wanted to remember, how I was feeling, what I was experiencing, kind of a rundown and itinerary of the things that I did while I was there, so that when I go back to document this, I have a really good memory. I can recall these details and these facts. When I came home, I immediately set up folders to dump all those photos in. I purged any photos that I wasn't going to keep. I created a photo for my PhotoPass photos, which are available to you online when you log into your My Disney account. So I downloaded all those photos, and then I purged any of the photos that I didn't want or need from my iPhone, saved those to my external hard drive, and then I also saved them to a cloud-based service called Forever, so that those are backed up and ready to go. Now, once all the photos were done, I reviewed the photos and kind of got an idea of how I want to approach this project. I knew right away that I wanted to work in a Citrus Twist life crafted album. I think I posted a link to this in the description. If not, the company is Citrus Twist. Their albums are super popular. This is kind of a traveler's notebook size bound album, and it's roughly a little bit over 4 by 8 inches. I forget the exact dimensions, but I have several of these albums, and I chose the blue album because a lot of the product that I'm using has this kind of touch of turquoise in it. I'm going to show you that here in a second. I like this album in that I knew that I wanted to do a traveler's notebook size album, but I also wanted to make sure that I had enough room to document the story. So this album does come with page protectors. You can buy additional page protectors, and you can buy this little strip type thing that you can insert stuff in. So I'm going to do some out of the pocket pages and some inside pocket pages. And I'm also going to do some interactive stuff as well. And I'll be sharing that with you. This is a fantastic album. I think this measures about 4 by 8 inches, roughly, give or take a few. But this is a really, really great style of album that you can create for stuff like this. I didn't want to create a full 12 by 12. I didn't really want to do a 6 by 8. So I decided to use this life crafted album. Also, I have like 3 or 4 of these albums that I haven't actually used yet. So this is what I'm going to use. Now, knowing that I'm going to be working in this format, I wanted to also kind of draft out what I want this album to look like. And usually when I draft my projects, I use a notebook. Actually, let me grab my notebook real quick. Hold on. Let me grab it. Okay. So I just grab just a notebook. I usually have these notebooks. I purchased them from Michael's, and they're just a sketchbook. And what I do is I start sketching out kind of the flow of the album. And I typically will do this whenever I'm getting ready to work on a project like this, okay? A mini album project. The first page, I wrote out kind of my full day, my itinerary, so I can be aware of what it is that I did during that time and what it is that I want to document. So this is kind of like my notes pages. On the next page, I started to map out how I want the album to flow. And so I just make a little bitty sketch of the pages, And what I don't know at this point is, well, what specific page is going to be outside the pocket, what's going to be inside the pocket. That's kind of a game time decision when I really sit down and niche down on the layout design. I do know I want an inside cover and a title page, of course, or a title page rather. I do know that I want to print larger 4x8 photos, and so I have that dictated. And let me see if I can. Whoop. Can we zoom in? No, not me. Don't zoom in on me. There we go. Aha, there we go. I do know that I'm going to use some of the divided pocket pages here, so I'll have that denoted. And then the types of photos, or which photos that I want to add into those pages. So I want a photo of my digital Southwest Airlines pass. I want a photo of me in the plane up in the sky, because I love taking pictures when I'm flying amongst the clouds. My Epcot plans, I'm going to have a spot for that. I'm going to have a nice large photo, 4x8 photo, like a welcome to Disney photo. And I'm thinking I might do this photo. Perhaps I have a lot of photos that I can choose from. This is one of my photo pass photos that I took, which was really fun. So I'm going through and I'm sort of kind of sketching out what I want this to look like. Now, here's the thing. I may not 100% stick to it, but what I have found over the years is that if I can have some idea of how I want my project to look, then it takes a lot of guesswork out of the process when I sit down to actually put the album together. How many times have we, and let me know in the chat section, have you wanted to work on a project and you kind of have an idea and you start to work on it and then you're hee-hawing around and you're changing a whole bunch of stuff because you haven't drafted what you want. This pre-planning process helps so much. So here I have another little sketch here of some different layouts that I want to do. And then I'll also leave myself some notes, like I want to insert an interactive photo collage or an interactive photo collage here. So this kind of lets me know that I'm going to do something outside the pocket, something that's interactive and corresponding with whatever part of that story that I want to document in my album. Okay. You can get a notebook like this at any craft and hobby store. There are some planner tools and things like that that you can purchase off of Etsy, for specifically like project life type stuff. You can certainly make your own. I like to test this out first by drafting it before I actually make like a PDF type situation. That's something that I've been wanting to do because I want to make sure that the way I draft stuff makes sense, that people could use in general. But this is kind of like where I begin. My process is kind of sketching it out. I still have a few more layouts that I want to sketch out based on my trip. And so that'll probably take out the rest of this page. And I'll refer to this whenever I get ready to scrapbook or get ready to put this album together. Once my photos are organized and I've purged the photos that I don't want and all those things, and I have them saved and backed up, and then I have an idea of how, what format of project that I want. And of course, this one's going to be in the Citrus Twist Life Crafted album. Absolutely love it. I know I want to do more of a traveler style notebook type of project, mini project. And then I've sketched everything out. The next thing is figuring out what materials I want to use. Now, friends, I'm going to be very honest with you. I have a ton of Disney themed things. And so what I didn't want to do was go out and buy a bunch of stuff. I bought a couple of new things only because I've been eyeballing it and it was on sale. But everything else I've had in my stash for quite a while. So for those of you who are like, show us what you're going to be using, that time has come. So what I am using is a combination of a few things. I have 2 containers here filled with Disney themed, Disney inspired product. The first product here, and this is specifically important for those who are trying to document your Disney trips. You're like, oh, I need some idea of what to use. This first collection is from Echo Park. It's called A Magical Place. And I think this is, good grief, when was this made? 2021. So this is not too old. So of course I have stamps. I have all these really fun embellishments, puffy stickers and stuff. Some of this I've already used. Enamel dots, stencils to do something fun with. I really love a dotted stencil, so I'm really glad that I have that. I may have done a layout with this kit already. Lots of die cuts because I need these die cuts, and they have really fun little icons on it. And the cool thing about this collection is that you can use it for any type of theme park type thing or magical day or party or whatever. So it's really versatile, but it works well for Disney themed if you want more of a classic Disney color design. There is a 6x6 paper pad, which works in handy because Some of the pages I'm going to be creating are going to be pocket pages. And so I don't have to use a full page of pattern paper. I can use 6x6 pattern paper to create cards and all kinds of stuff because the patterns are smaller. Look at that gingham. Lord help me. I love it. Now, the reason why I chose the album color that I did is because if you notice in this collection, there are this beautiful turquoisey blue in it. That's one of the reasons why I chose this specific album color. And plus, I already had it in my stash. Okay, so lots of beautiful papers, oops, with that, some of which I've already used. Got my beloved chipboard pieces, lots of really fun icons. And I like the combination of the small and the large. I love these frames. That'll be really fun to make either interactive pages with or to highlight a photo or something like that. So I'm definitely going to be using those in my project. One of the things I'm not going to do, however, is I stopped decorating the cover of my the cover of my albums. I stopped decorating the cover of my albums mainly because I store my albums like this on a shelf and a lot of the elements started to fall off. And so the cover is going to remain plain. I am going to do a label here and then I will decorate the inside cover, but the outside will stay plain. Okay. I did start a Disney project. I just never finished it. I just never finished it. It wasn't because YouTube was going through all those changes. I just didn't. Well, no, take that back. YouTube at the time, let's see what was going on. They had to update they had to safeguard against content that was geared towards kids. They were having some issues. The FTC stepped in, they got fined, it was a whole thing. And so a lot of us content creators kind of took off some content that because we weren't clear as to what YouTube meant by, or the FTC meant by kid-friendly content. And there's a lot of adults who do Disney content. So I did take off some of that content, but now I feel confident to add it back on. So that's actually a really good observation. Hey Naomi, she says, I just got the materials to start my Disney album with a Snap album. So this live is perfect timing. Yay. She says, I kind of feel terrified about how to start and plan it. And I think with any large project like this, it kind of can get overwhelming in terms of where do you start. I always start with photos and story first, pick out product, map out everything, and then go from there. All right, so this collection also has 12 by 12 papers, which are beautiful. Lots of fun Disney inspired little icons. And then, of course, there's a sticker sheet, too, that comes along with this particular kit. This is what it looks like. Magical Place kit that you can purchase. This is perfect for that. They updated children's content. Yes, they did. Absolutely. It was very vague when the FTC first came out with what they considered to be children's content. So some of us were kind of scared and we didn't want to be fined or anything like that. So, okay. So anyway, so that's part of it. That ain't all, folks. That's part of it. Then in 2018 or after 2018, or maybe during 2018, is when we took our first Disney World trip. And so I put together a kit to work on that album. That album is not done, but it will be done. I will start working on that and I'll share that with you. But I had all of these supplies left over. And so I have things like these alpha chips. Do you guys remember My Big Ideas and their little embellishments and stuff? I don't hardly see these in craft stores anymore, but I absolutely love these alpha chips. And I picked them up a few years ago, both in gold and in red sparkly, because why not? I also have another one of the Magical Place stamp sets. And then also included in here are things from like Kelly Perky's older line. This is her, does this have a name? I don't think this one had a specific name, but it has a castle, magical document, that type of thing. This is when her brand was just strictly Kelly Perky. Now it's Paper Person. But absolutely love her stamps, and I thought this would be perfect to have. And then Elle Studio has a Magical Memories collection. They actually have a new one that's out too, so make sure you check that out. I think I posted a link in the description. But this stamp set also has circles and little ear here that you can make your own little Mickey head, Mickey silhouette, which I thought was fantastic. So this is really, really cool. And then a whole bunch of other little details here. So some die cuts, some little Mickey ears. I think I snagged that from a crop one year that was just laying on the table. So these are little buttons that have thread in them. Mickey ears, frames, wood veneers from Elle Studio. Really fun. Bunch of pocket cards and stuff that I cut. Lots of die cuts. So I have plenty of product here that I can choose from. Washi tape. More washi tape. Okay, lots of stuff. So what I want to do is just make sure that anything that was Disney related all ended up in one container. I have some more stamps, which are fantastic. Some of these pink paisley letters that I don't know where I picked these up at. Oh, Tuesday Morning, which, by the way, let me know if you're by a Tuesday Morning. My Tuesday Morning has hardly any crafting supplies at all, which is really sad. This one says Family. This one says Believe, which I think would be perfect for a Disney project. I have another one of these 6x6 paper pads. Also, some Elle Studio from their Magical Memories. And again, just really perfect things that can be used for this Disney project. I also reached in my stash and grabbed some sticker fonts that I thought would work. And this is when I put this kit together in 2018. So I have some old Jelly Bean Soup. Does anybody remember this? They're little mini alphas. I miss Jelly Bean Soup so much. And then these are from Basic Gray. Gosh, y'all remember that? Basic Gray? Long time ago. And then a bunch of stuff, some of the older Snap materials as well from their Say Cheese 2, Say Cheese 1 collection. More Elle Studio puffy stickers. Some things that I will probably be able to use with this size, like the pockets and stuff that are already made. That'd be great to put tickets and that type of stuff. Hey, Debbie, she says, my Tuesday Morning closed. Oh, that's so sad. I know Tuesday Morning closed a lot of stores across the U.S., so that's really sad. I still have like 3 by my house that are still hanging on, but they're not getting a bunch of crafty things. Some stickers from Simple Stories, Pebbles. I just have a lot of stuff. Studio Calico, just a lot of older stickers that have been hanging in my stash that I thought would be, would work well. Again, all of this has been in my stash forever. Carpe Diem, if you guys remember that. Lots of really nice little stickers here. These are great for planners, although I don't decorate a planner anymore. But these little smaller stickers are great for small projects. And then underneath all of the rest of these things, I got a bunch of other just embellishments from various different companies and manufacturers, sticker books. So as you can see, I didn't have to buy anything new for this. And which is, my favorite way to approach this project is, not going out and spending a whole lot of money on stuff when I already have it. Chipboard, sheets, Say Cheese 4. I think I bought that when I hosted a crop in Sacramento a couple of years ago. Lots of Magical Adventure stuff. Here's Say Cheese 3, for those who are familiar with that. Wish Upon a Star was another collection Echo Park made. I've got some thickers in here. Jenny Bolin stickers. Do you guys remember Jenny Bolin? I mean, good grief. Yeah. I have those Hey Girl Alphas. I know, they just don't go out of style. A bunch of sticker sheets that I had in various kits. All the stuff is really good to use, and I want to try to get a lot of good usage out of it. I love that you're showing the older supplies. Yes, I loved Basic Gray. I miss them too. Those are some of my favorite. And I think with the older supplies, there's so much new stuff out there, but I think we need to challenge ourselves to dig into our stash and see what we can create with what we have in our stash. And so that's what I want to do with this kit. Simple Stories Say Cheese 3, another iteration of their collection. So lots of papers there. Again, I don't have to buy anything, right? And then a bunch of little scrap papers from pages that I've already made in my 2018 Disney album. I did mention we went to Disney World in February of this year. That was a family trip. It was a surprise birthday trip for my kiddo. She turned 12. And she was not feeling that great about turning 12, but a surprise trip to Disney World definitely cheered her up a whole lot. We had so much fun. I can't wait to scrapbook that experience because that was a lot of fun. She is 4 years older than she was when we first went to Disney, and it was interesting to kind of see her interest. And she mainly likes rides. She always has loved rides, so that's kind of her jam. And there were some things that we were hoping to do, like go to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, because you age out at 12 for that. We want to have that experience. That wasn't open at the time that we went. It's open now. So for those of you who are going to Disney World, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is now officially open. So there we go. Those are those materials, and I just keep them in an iris container with an iris insert. And I don't know if Iris is making those inserts, and if they are, where they're sold. I saw a couple of them on Amazon, but I haven't seen them since. Have a familiar box or two of Disney stuff collected through the years. Yes, absolutely. Use your stash. Use your stash. That's right, Trish. Absolutely use your stash. So that's exactly what I'm doing for this project. So a couple other things that I've also gathered for this project is yesterday I was at Joann and I had to grab a couple of things because they were on sale, and two, it's something that I just kind of been eyeballing for a while. So the only new thing that I got for this project is this punch, and it punches out a bunch of Mickey heads, which are really, really fun, little Mickey silhouettes. And I can use this for a ton of different projects, not just for scrapbooking. So I've been eyeballing this. I have the single Mickey silhouette punch, but I've been wanting this one for a while, and it was 30% off at Joann. So I don't know if they still have that sale going on, but if you're interested, you just got enabled. Then I have another little stamp set here with some fun little icons. And then I couldn't pass up these little tiny Mickey stickers. These are they're sticky brads is what they call them. And I thought this would be excellent to accent like a bulleted list or to put on a little pocket card or something like that. So I'm itching to play with this punch. So let me, I'm going to open this up right here, right now. Hey, Carrie, she says, just got a bunch of the new Simple Stories at the park. I know, it's great. I know it'll be on my shelf for a while till we get back from Disneyland, but I'm okay with that. I got to see that collection when I was at Creativation, and one of the things that I love about that collection is that it has materials, products that are specific to certain themes within the Disney parks. So it makes it really cool to be able to document different areas of the different parks that you visit. All right, so this is a punch. This is EK Success made this punch. It's really sturdy, very heavy. Has a little latch here in the back. Open that up. Let me grab some cardstock here. Oh, I'm so excited. So I keep my cardstock, my scraps, in this little file box that I got from Target, and my daughter set up my little files for me here. So I have one for color and one for white, and I'm just trying to see if I have a little piece of black. I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, so let's play. I want to use this punch. Again, I got this at Joann, and I don't remember how much it was, but I do know it was 30% off. I think the regular price is like $20-something, but I got it for like 30% off. So I'm just gonna, whoa, oh, okay. They all went flying. All my Mickeys went flying. Hold on, just a second. There they are. All my Mickeys went flying. Okay, and of course, sometimes the punch gets stuck. So hold on just a second. So yeah, you get all these little Mickeys in these different sizes. How fun is that? I just love that. That is so cool. There we go. Little Mickeys. Let's see here. I don't know why. Did it go? Oh, there it was. And opened up. I thought it got stuck. All right, I'm going to do that again, but this time I think I'll just hold it down on the table so my Mickeys don't go flying, or Minnies, as it will, because you can definitely put a little bow on here if you're wanting to do a Minnie. Okay, here we go. There we go. And there's another. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Sometimes those get kind of stuck. So yeah, look at that. And you can create a whole bunch of these. You could also print out Mickey silhouettes like on Cricut. I believe they have a licensing with Disney and maybe Silhouette. I can't remember. But isn't that fun? You can do, yes, Mickey confetti. Absolutely. How fun would this to kind of sprinkle these around on a birthday table or something, or a party table? Wow. Flying Mickeys. Exactly. They flew like all over my floor. That's a great punch for adding little hidden Mickeys to your project. Absolutely. That's a really great idea. That's so much fun, particularly for those of us who like finding hidden Mickeys. You can find hidden Mickeys at Disney World and Disneyland, by the way. And that's a really fun thing to do with kids And just really, I mean, it's fun for anybody, obviously, but there's a lot of people who really make it a thing to find hidden Mickeys. So you can put hidden Mickeys in your scrapbook projects. That's a really good idea. I might do that. Hey, Kim, just love that Mickey punch. It's so great, right? And then when you're done, you just close it and latch it back up for those who aren't familiar with the EK Success punches. So yeah, I'm glad that I got that. So that's going to be super fun to add to my Mickey stash. And then I have another punch somewhere around here that's a Mickey head. So anywho, so there's that. So I think that I am all set to scrapbook my beautiful magical memories at Epcot. And I'm going to be honest with you, friends. There's nothing like, for me, there's nothing like solo travel. I absolutely love traveling by myself. I love traveling with my family, but I also like traveling by myself because it gives you an opportunity to experience things through your own lens and not having to worry about being on somebody else's schedule or having to cater to somebody else's interest. You can just cater to your own. This project also, I hope, is inspiration. I talked about this with my patrons, is that we should not be afraid to document stories that just feature us and nobody else. Because I think it's important. Our stories are meant to be told. So I chose this specific project, one, because I have a lot of projects that I'm in the process of working on. And to keep myself from being overwhelmed, I'm going to work on my smaller projects first, which this is a smaller project. I'm not documenting an entire like week-long trip. I'm just documenting one day. And so I'm hoping that I'll be able to start and finish this within the next month or two. But I have other projects I want to work on, but I needed a starting point to kind of motivate myself to get back into making mini albums, and to get back into documenting. And the way that I like to document, I've been so busy with other things. I'm really excited to start getting back into this project. So whenever you can, uh, whenever you can, and if you're feeling overwhelmed with trying to figure out where do I start with a project, start with a smaller project first so that you can gain some momentum to work on the larger project. So that's what I'm going to be doing going into the fall, is kind of finishing up some projects and working on smaller projects so that I have the energy to work on my larger projects. Kim says, yes, you can eat and do whatever you want. Eat whatever you want, wherever you want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Emma. First live in a few months. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. So this project, not only am I wanting to do this for my own sake, but also just to demonstrate that it is important that not only do we enjoy the time for ourselves, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a trip. It can be, something that you locally that you like to do, or a experience that you enjoy, or whatever it may be. Try a new coffee shop. Making sure that we're documenting those stories because they're important. That we see ourselves in our scrapbook pages, and that it keeps the storytelling experience fresh, right? It keeps it fresh versus scrapbooking about the same things, and particularly scrapbooking about other people. So I highly recommend solo travel. I highly recommend documenting your solo adventures. And it's fun to be able to look back on stuff like this. I've enjoyed looking at all the photos. I had so much fun at Epcot. I can't even begin to underscore how much fun I had. Was there a little bit of the time where I thought, oh, I want to share this with Corinne and Bree? Yeah, sure. But I had already experienced Disney with them twice already, so it was great to have the solo trip. And they encouraged me to. They're like, "Oh yeah," Brie was like, "Are you going to go to Disney?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to Disney." So I booked a ticket and went, and it was great. It was great. So this is all I have for you in terms of prepping for this project. I do plan to share more of this project as it comes along, so stay tuned for that. I may share some during the live stream, maybe some recorded videos, and then definitely a walkthrough when the album is done. I'm using this as an opportunity to kind of test out some different techniques and things and creative inspiration that I've seen on Pinterest and Instagram, some of my friends who make beautiful mini projects. So I want to put some of that inspiration into good use. And I just think that this is just going to be a really super fun project that I'm looking forward to sharing and looking forward to putting out there. Other projects coming down the pike. I've got 2 baby albums that I'm going to be making and sharing soon, so stay tuned for that. We've got 2 little babies that are coming to the family. Well, one who's already here. I'm a great auntie to a little sweet nephew, great nephew. His name is Zaylin. And then my little great niece is going to be born in just a week or so. Her name is Aaliyah, and we can't wait for her to come. So I have baby albums that I'm making for my great niece and my great nephew. And so I'm really excited about that. So I'll be sharing that prep process and how I make albums for other people. I don't do it as often anymore, but usually if I feel compelled, I'll make a gift album, and I'm going to show you kind of my process and how I set it up the way that I do to make it easier for the receiver to use it, particularly new parents. So I'm excited for my nephew and my niece to be able to have that for their kiddos, at least a jumping off point. And maybe it will inspire them to make sure they're printing their photos. They are 20 years younger than me, so they're not like printing a lot of photos these days, or a little bit less than 20 years younger than me. So anyway, they do take a lot of photos, but printing the photos are going to become important. Hey, Mrs. Crafty, she says, that sounds like fun. Need to plan a solo trip. Yes, a solo trip to anywhere. Trish says, I'm trying to do a solo trip too. Absolutely. You totally should. You totally should. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to share with you guys before the live is over. Okay, so next week, I think, what do I have next week for the live? I think I might be doing, I think I might have Cricut. I might be doing something related to Cricut next week. So stay tuned for that. I think someone requested that I share how to make titles or letters and working with letters and stuff on Cricut. So that'll probably be next Wednesday. If not, it'll probably be something that I'm making, one of the two. But we'll be back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you were inspired by this prep process. And of course, I'll be continuing to share this project, but I wanted to at least address this because I get asked this question a lot, is how I prep for projects. And so I hope you were inspired by that for whatever project that you're working on, whether it's Disney related or something else. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys next Wednesday, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, you can always join me on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, watching the other videos on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you sign up for my weekly newsletter. That gets you dropped in your inbox every Friday. And if you're looking for a fun online scrapbooking crop, join us next weekend for the Rock Your Stash online virtual crops, where we will be focusing on using your stamps that are in your stash. All those links and stuff are down in the description below. I hope you will join us. Don't forget to subscribe. Let YouTube know that you liked this live by giving it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified each and every time I go live. All right, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me. It was so good to see you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.